What's up, guys? Monster Master Godzilla here, and I'm back doing the Godzilla-Thon. We're now up to All Monsters Attack, also better known as Godzilla's Revenge. Now, this one is... oh my god. Where do I begin with this one? This one has been widely regarded as being the absolute worst of the Godzilla movies. Like, the absolute worst of every Godzilla movie ever made. And this one, like, supposedly, this is where the series decided to change direction. Like, Destroy All Monsters, which you've heard from my last review when, well, Godzilla took over my review. And I hope you saw that review, and I know that a lot of people, I know you thought it was funny, and where I went after Godzilla and I threatened to beat his ass for that. Which I did beat Godzilla's ass for taking over my reviews. Which I'm back, and now, and no worries, folks. Godzilla won't be taking over my reviews with behind my back. So, and Godzilla. So this one, Destroy All Monsters, was supposed to be the last one of the Showa series, but the series decided to really change direction. It's like, but then Toho decided to make more Godzilla movies, and they have them geared towards the younger audience. Yeah, this is the first time where they made it really geared towards children. Yeah, this time Godzilla does not. This time the plot involves a child who is like a fan of Godzilla, and he's a Ishiro, and he's like one of the most annoying kids ever. But the one thing redeeming thought is you end up feeling sorry for the kid, because he was bullied by other kids, being bullied by a kid named Gabara, nicknamed Gabara. So then he was being bullied by a kid nicknamed Gabara, and so then he ends up having his parents were always at work. Neither of his parents are ever home. So he ends up hanging out with his friend, uncle or grandfather, which that part was never explained why. Which that character makes an appearance as the old man in GMK, which we will get to later. So then he ends up dreaming. So the kid ends up dreaming that he goes on Monster Island, which the most disappointing thing is that the monsters, all the scenes with all the monsters are all stock footage, all archive footage. Yes, that's right, folks. That's one of the cheapest things that they ever did. They used stock footage for most of the movie, which, oh my god, that was the worst idea they ever done. That's so stupid, and that's very lazy. And so a lot of the monster scenes that they repeated from stock footage were all recycled from scenes from Destroy All Monsters, from Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and Son of Godzilla. And oh yeah, Manila makes an appearance in this movie, but also called Minya in this movie. And oh my goodness, the stupidest thing is that Manila talks. He fucking talks. The weird thing is that in the English dub, he sounded like he's all doofy, like he's sounded like Barney. While in the Japanese, in the original uncut Japanese version, he sounds like a girl. Which I think he sounded funnier in English, but the English dub on the kid, oh my gosh, I can't. I want to kill that person. But for the actual kid in the original Japanese version sounded better, because he wasn't so annoying in the Japanese version. But in English dub, oh god, But oh my goodness, the kid and the Godzilla's son Manila was also dealing with a bully named Gabra, which is a monster, which this weird monster that looks like it's got like a weird cat-like face, like a horn-like mohawk, and whatever the rest of him resembles looks like he has acne, and he has like a very aggravating roar, which really is supposed to be like an ogre or something, like an oni, and his body is surging with electricity. He spends most of the movie beating up Manila. So yes, Gabara is like the bully to Manila, and a Monster Island bully. And he's like beating his ass and stuff. And so Gabara is like a representation of what he thinks of his bully named Gabara. So yes, which a monster version of his bully. And Godzilla, the weird thing is they call this movie Godzilla's Revenge, and Godzilla does not step on any cities. He's like an afterthought in this movie. So throughout the movie, both the kid and Manila ends up watching Godzilla fight other monsters, which are actually stock footage from Son of Godzilla and Godzilla's Revenge, and that's pretty much most of the movie. If they had included more, that would have been a Best of Godzilla compilation. Yeah, that's what it feels like, a compilation film. So yeah, you'll be looking at this film like, hey, I've seen these battles before. Because those are all 90%, like most of the movie is all stock footage. But there was a moment where Manila ends up having funny moments, like he says, "How do you like that, weirdo?" Ends up tries taking on the Comet of Kumonga and stuff. So then, and Manila can also change sizes, which is awkward, which is weird in that one. Which I don't know what they're doing. They were smoking something during the time. This was in 1969, which is kind of a weird time, which is a time when things were really silly. So then the kid in real life ends up facing his real life problems, where he ends up getting kidnapped by bad guys. So in the dream, he ends up taking on Gabara one last time. Manila tries taking on Gabara, but then Godzilla shows up and this time outside of stock footage. They end up using the same suit from Destroy All Monsters, which they used that suit from Destroy All Monsters, then this movie, then Godzilla vs. Hedorah, and later Godzilla vs. Gigan, which we'll be getting to later. So they try making him intimidating and yet also kid-friendly too, which quite a good balance too. Which I love the 1968 suit. This one's one of the more popular Showa Godzilla suits, and it's such a shame that it's such a bad movie. So Godzilla tries helping Manila be less of a coward and learn how to fight his own battles. As what Manila says, Godzilla says, I should learn to fight my own battles, you know. And so they end up taking on Manila. So they end up taking on Gabara. And so the funniest moment is when they set a trap for Gabara, and when Manila's on normal size with the kid, they end up sitting on this rock that's like a teeter-totter. So Manila ends up jumping on that, and right when he gets to his real size and jumps on the rock, he sends Gabara flying like, and then falls down, and it injures Gabara really bad. And so Gabara gets injured, and then he runs away, never to bother Manila again. So that's the moral lesson about this film, is that they're trying to have kids to stand up against bullies and learn how to be brave. And so, and he ends up taking on the bad guys. So he takes on the bad guys, escapes the kidnappers, and the kidnappers get arrested. And then later in the movie he ends up taking on the bullies. He beats up the bullies as payback. And he got his revenge. So, overall, would I recommend this movie? Well, if you're a casual moviegoer, I'd probably say stay away from this. But if you're a hardcore Godzilla fan, you might as well give it a look. And you're looking for the good Godzilla stuff, you can step away from this one. It will probably leave a bad taste in your mouth. I have this movie for the collection, and I would still watch it. I mean, especially when I binge watch all the Godzilla movies. I mean, it's not my favorite movie, but at least it had a creative monster. Even though I don't really care about Gabra, it definitely is a creative-looking monster, and the Showa series does have such creative activity. Has a lot of awesome creative stuff with their monsters. Yes, the music and Destroy All Monsters is awesome, both in Japanese and in US release. Any music in the Godzilla movies are awesome. So, and the monster in the Showa series, which I appreciate for what they are and respect them for what the time is. So, moving on, this is not my favorite. It's not the Godzilla movie I strongly recommend, but if you're a casual moviegoer, you probably should stay away from it. But for hardcore Godzilla fans' sake, go grab it for your collection. So, that's all I have to say for you guys, and stay tuned for more. Next, we'll be checking out Godzilla vs. Hedorah, which is a better movie. And anyway, that's all I have to say, folks, and as always, stay awesome, Monster Masters, and I'll catch you later. Bye!